The 2016 Summer Olympics, officially known as the Games of the 31st Olympiad, and commonly known as Rio 2016, are a major international multi-sport event that will take place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, from 5 to the 21st of August 2016. More than 10,500 athletes from 206 national Olympic committees will take part in this sporting event. The Games will feature 28 sports, including rugby sevens and golf, which were added by the International Olympic Committee in 2009. These sporting events will take place across 33 venues spread across 4 regions of the city, namely, Barra, Copacabana, Deodoro, and Maracana. The host city of Rio de Janeiro was announced at the 121st IOC session held in Copenhagen, Denmark, on the 2nd of October 2009. The other finalists were Madrid, Spain, Chicago, United States, and Tokyo, Japan. Rio will become the first South American city to host the Summer Olympics, the second city in Latin America to host the event after Mexico City in 1968, and the first since 2000 in the Southern Hemisphere. Bidding process. The bidding process for the 2016 Summer Olympic Games was officially launched on 16 May 2007. The first step for each city was to submit an initial application to the International Olympic Committee by 13 September 2007, confirming their intention to bid. Completed official bid files, containing answers to a 25-question IOC form, were to be submitted by each applicant city by 14 January 2008. 4 candidate cities were chosen for the shortlist on 4 June 2008. Chicago, Madrid, Rio de Janeiro and Tokyo. The IOC did not promote Doha to the candidature phase, despite scoring higher than selected candidate city Rio de Janeiro, due to their intent of hosting the Olympics in October, outside of the IOC's sporting calendar. Prague and Baku also failed to make the cut. Nawal El Moutawakel of Morocco headed the 10-member Evaluation Commission, having also chaired the Evaluation Commission for the 2012 Summer Olympics bids. The commission made on-site inspections in the second quarter of 2009. They issued a comprehensive technical appraisal for IOC members on 2 September, 1 month before elections. Many restrictions are in place designed to prevent bidding cities from communicating with or influencing directly the 115 voting members. Cities may not invite any IOC member to visit, nor may they send anything that could be construed as a gift. Nonetheless, bidding cities invest large sums in their PR and media programs in an attempt to indirectly influence the IOC members by garnering domestic support from sports media and general international media. Ultimately, you are communicating with just 115 people, and each one has influences and pressure groups, but you are still speaking to no more than about 1,500 people, perhaps 5,000 in the broadest sense. It is not just about getting ads out there, but it is about a targeted and very carefully planned campaign. John Tibbs, a consultant on the Tokyo bid. The final voting was held on 2 October 2009. In Copenhagen, with Madrid and Rio de Janeiro perceived as favorites to land the Games. Chicago and Tokyo were eliminated after the first and second rounds of voting, respectively, while Rio de Janeiro took a significant lead over Madrid heading into the final round. The lead held in Rio de Janeiro was announced as host of 2016 Summer Olympics. Failed bids from other South American cities include Buenos Aires, Cali, and Brasilia, which withdrew during the 2000 Summer Olympic bidding process. Development and preparation. On 26 June 2011, it was reported on AroundTheRings.com that Rodolfo Generali, the coup of the Rio de Janeiro organizing committee for the Olympic Games, resigned just 1 year after taking the job at ROC. This comes just 5 months after CCO Flavio Pestana quit for personal reasons. Pestana withdrew later during the 2012 Summer Paralympics. Renato Attribution was then appointed as COO. Venues and infrastructure. Barra da Tijuca will host most of the venues of the Olympic and Paralympic Games in 2016. The rest will be located in 3 other zones: Copacabana Beach, Maracana and Deodoro. Barra da Tijuca will also house the Olympic Village. Rio's historical downtown is undergoing a large-scale urban waterfront revitalization project called Porto Maravilha. It covers 5 square kilometers in area. The project aims to redevelop the port area, increasing the city center's attractiveness and enhancing Rio's competitiveness position in the global economy. The urban renovation involves 700 kilometers of public networks for water supply, sanitation, drainage, electricity, gas and telecom, 4 kilometers of tunnels, 70 kilometers of roads, 650 square kilometers of sidewalks, 17 kilometers of bike path, 15,000 trees, 3 sanitation treatment plants. Security. Since the award of the 2016 Olympics to Rio de Janeiro, the city's crime problems have received more attention. A police helicopter was shot down over a favela during one of the city's many drug wars, and the pilot was killed in the incident. Rio's mayor has admitted that there are big issues facing the city in securing the games from violence. However, he also said that such concerns and issues were presented to the IOC throughout the bidding process. The governor of the state of Rio de Janeiro also highlighted the fact that London faced security problems, with a terrorist attack occurring on the day following the IOC session that chose the city to host the 2012 Olympic Games. The IOC, however, has expressed optimism regarding the ability of the city and the nation of Brazil to address these concerns, saying that 7 years is enough time for Rio de Janeiro to clean up its crime problem. IOC spokesman Mark Adams told the Associated Press, "We have confidence in their capacity to deliver a safe games in 7 years. Security is of course a very important aspect of any Olympic Games, no matter where it is in the world. This is of course entirely under the national, regional and city authorities." Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, former president of Brazil, noted that the city has hosted other high-profile events without major incidents, for example the 2007 Pan American Games. Rio de Janeiro is planning to pacify local neighborhoods, or favelas. Community-based police pacification units will be used to build trust in individual communities through the use of street patrols and civic work. Moreover, the Regional Institute of Public Safety reported that the homicide rate of Rio de Janeiro for the first 5 months of 2012 was at its lowest in the past 21 years. With 10.9 homicides for every 100,000 inhabitants. Nonetheless, despite the decline in homicides and human rights abuses, Human Rights Watch urged Brazil to investigate extrajudicial killings. Concerns over completion. On 9 May 2014, the London Evening Standard reported IOC Vice President John Coates calling Brazil's preparations "the worst I've experienced," and went on to claim that construction and infrastructure projects were severely behind schedule. The IOC has formed a special task force to try to speed up preparations, but the situation is critical on the ground, the paper quoted him as saying, concluding that such an intervention was unprecedented. Coates' concerns had previously been reported elsewhere in the media. Financing Phase 1, Applicant City Phase 2, Candidate City. Public revenues. Private revenues. TAM Airlines contributed with 1,233,726 rails in the form of discounts in air tickets. Note: the residual balance was used to fund the first months of operation of Rio 2016 Organizing Committee. Investment. Note: the total investment in Olympic Park in public transport in Rio to the 2016 Summer Olympics. Ticketing. The ticket prices were announced on 16 September 2014, and all will be sold in Brazilian reals. A total of 7.5 million tickets will be sold, 200,000 tickets less compared to the 2012 Summer Olympics, because the size of many arenas is smaller. Ticket prices range from 40 Brazilian reais for many events to 4,600 Brazilian reais for the most expensive seats at the opening ceremony. About 3.8 million of these tickets will be available for 70 Brazilian reais or less. The street events could be watched along the route for free. Torch Relay. The Torch Relay will begin its Brazilian journey on the 3rd of May 2016. The Torch Relay will visit more than 300 Brazilian cities. After the Greek phase, the Brazilian phase starts in the capital Brasilia, and the last part to be held in Rio de Janeiro City. The Games Opening Ceremony. The opening ceremony will take place in the Maracana Stadium on 5 August 2016. Sports. The 2016 Summer Olympic program features 28 sports and a total of 41 disciplines and 306 events. Aquatics, diving, swimming, synchronized swimming, water polo, archery, athletics, badminton, basketball, boxing, canoeing, slalom, sprint, cycling, BMX, mountain biking, road track, equestrian, dressage, eventing, jumping, fencing, field hockey, football, golf, gymnastics, artistic, rhythmic, trampoline, handball, judo, modern pentathlon, rowing, rugby sevens, sailing, shooting, table tennis, taekwondo, tennis, triathlon, volleyball, beach volleyball, weightlifting, wrestling, freestyle, Greco-Roman. New sports. There were 2 open spots for sports and initially 7 sports began the bidding for inclusion in the 2016 program. Baseball and softball, which were dropped from the program in 2005, karate, squash, golf, roller sports, and rugby union all applied to be included. Leaders of the 7 sports held presentations in front of the IOC Executive Board in June 2009. In August, the Executive Board initially gave its approval to Rugby Sevens, a 7-player version of rugby union, by a majority vote, thus removing baseball, roller sports, and squash from contention. Among the remaining 3, golf, karate, and softball, the board approved golf as a result of consultation. The final decision regarding the remaining 2 sports was made on 9 October 2009, the final day of the 121st IOC session. A new system was in place at this session. A sport now needed only a simple majority from the full IOC committee for approval rather than the 2/3 majority previously required. International Golf Federation Executive Director Anthony Scanlon said that the top players, including Tiger Woods and Annika Sorenstam, would show their continued support of golf's Olympic involvement by participating in the events. The International Sailing Federation announced in May 2012 that windsurfing would be replaced at the 2016 Olympics by kite surfing, but this decision was reversed in November. The IOC announced in January 2013 that it would review the status of cycling events, following Lance Armstrong's admission of using performance-enhancing drugs and accusations that the cycling's governing body had covered up doping. In contrast to the exception during the 2012 Olympics, the International Gymnastics Federation announced that these games will have a gala event for gymnastics. Participating national Olympic committees. The first 3 nations to qualify athletes for the Games were Germany, Great Britain and the Netherlands, who each qualified 4 athletes for the team dressage by winning medals in the team event at the 2014 FEI World Equestrian Games. As of 12 December 2015, 146 out of the current 206 NOCs have qualified at least 1 athlete. Kosovo and South Sudan are expected to debut in the Olympic Games. Amid the European migrant crisis, the IOC will allow refugee athletes to compete as independent Olympians under the Olympic flag. In previous Olympic Games, refugees were ineligible to compete due to their inability to represent their home NOCs. In November 2015, Russia was suspended from all international athletic competitions, including the 2016 Summer Olympics, by the IAAF following a World Anti-Doping Agency report into doping in athletics calendar. This is currently based on the schedule released on the same day as ticket sales began, March 31, 2015. All dates of Brasilia time event times swimming heats will be held beginning at 1300 BRT. Swimming finals will be held from 2200 to 0000 BRT. Some beach volleyball matches will begin at midnight BRT. Meanwhile, each track and field morning session will include at least one final. There will be at least one final during each of the 6 morning sessions in the stadium. 8 stadium events will hold morning session finals, a first at the Olympics since 1988. The first is the women's 10,000 meters on the first day of track and field competition on Friday the 12th of August, 1 week after the opening ceremony. The others are the men's discus, women's 3,000 meters steeplechase and hammer throw, men's triple jump and women's discus, men's 3,000 meters steeplechase and men's 400 meters hurdles. The men's 100 meters finals will begin at 22h35 BRT on August 14th. The women's 100 meters final is the night before at 22:35 BRT. The men's 200 meters final is Thursday the 18th of August at 22:30 BRT. The women's 200 meters final is August 17 at 22:30 BRT. The men's 4x100 meters relay final is Friday, the 19th of August at 22h35 BRT. Closing ceremony. The closing ceremony will also take place at the Maracana Stadium on the 21st of August 2016. Logo. The Rio 2016 logo was designed by Tatl Design, a Brazilian company, and unveiled on December 31, 2010. The logo represents 3 figures, in the yellow, green, and blue of the Brazilian flag, joined at the arms and in a triple embrace, with the overall shape reflecting that of Sugarloaf Mountain. The logo was based on 4 concepts: contagious energy, harmonious diversity, exuberant nature, and Olympic spirit. The Rio firm Tatl designed the winning entry for the logo in a competition involving 139 agencies. According to former IOC President Jacques Roger, the logo captures the vision of Rio de Janeiro and Brazil for these games. The logo has been noted as evoking Henri Matisse's painting Dance. The logo, however, has been accused of being plagiarized from the Colorado-based philanthropic organization Telluride Foundation, in the same manner as the also Brazilian 2004 Salvador Carnival logo clearly was. Official mascot. The official mascots of the 2016 Summer Olympics and Paralympics were unveiled on the 24th of November 2014. The Olympic mascot is called Vinicius and is named after musician Vinicius de Moraes. The Paralympic mascot is called Tom, named after the musician Tom Jobim. The Olympic mascot represents Brazilian wildlife, primarily carrying design traits of mammals. The agility of cats, sway of monkeys and grace of birds. He can stretch his arms and legs as much as he wants. The mascot's fictional backstories state that they were both born from the joy of Brazilians after it was announced that Rio would host the Games. Brand director Beth Lula stated that the mascots are intended to reflect the diversity of Brazil's culture and people. The names of the mascots were determined by a public vote, one over 2 other sets of names, tallying 44% of 323,327 votes, whose results were announced on 14 December 2014. The other choices were Oba and Iba and Tiba 2K and Esquindim. Concerns and controversies. Sanitation levels. The beaches in Rio de Janeiro have been a major health hazard that has been present and can pose a threat among athletes. Progress has been lackluster from the lack of cleanup from trash strewn across the beaches in Rio, while officials have promised to make water safe. Broadcasting. In August 2009, the IOC reached a deal to sell domestic broadcast rights to the 2016 Summer Olympics to Grupo Globo, replacing Reed Record. The deal covers free-to-air coverage on Reed Globo, pay TV, and digital rights to the Games. In turn, Globo sub-licensed partial free-to-air rights to Reed Record, along with Reed Bandeirantes. IOC board member Richard Carrion described the agreement as unprecedented, touting that by working with Brazil's leading media organizations, we are confident that this represents a great deal for Olympic fans in the region.